Sustainable purchasing is so important, and I know that I speak for many of us when I say it's become a really big factor in why we purchase from the brands that we do. But I wanted to share with you 8 bag styles that really lean into the idea of sustainability from brands that we don't always hear about. Hello, and the warmest of welcomes to today's video. For those of you who haven't seen my face before, hi, I'm Nick, happy to have you here. Those of you who have seen my face before, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoy my videos. I put out videos roughly 3 times a week on a range of different topics, anywhere from fashion to slightly more personal topics. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then please do head down, hit subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. I love chatting with you all. I'm all about living life loud, and what that means to me is being your authentic self, being proud to be you, and just celebrating who you are. Celebrating yourself and celebrating others. So, as I mentioned in the intro, sustainability is such an important factor, something that I think we should all be considerate of, and brands are definitely being considerate of. So I want to share with you roughly 8 bag styles that lean into that concept and really seek to move the dial in terms of sustainable practices. So, without further ado, let's kick things off. A bag style that I've often thought about, but often kind of lands itself on the list of bags that have maybe passed, but I'm not someone who really worries about whether a style is currently in vogue or not, and this is the Stella McCartney Falabella, and this is the mini size, because this mini size is made out of recycled polyester. I think it is really, really beautiful. I love this cream colour that I can see this in with the silver hardware that makes up the chain and makes up the chain detailing around the edges of the bag to give it a little bit of that structure. It's really cute in the mini size. I would personally go for it in a large size, but I really love what Stella McCartney stands for. Innovative in the marketplace, particularly when it came to luxury fashion. So definitely a brand to keep an eye out for. This is definitely a bag style that I need to look at a little bit more, but like I said, I'd be looking at it in a slightly larger size, but they also have them at Bicester quite often, so I'll go and check one out. But if you're looking for one that is made from a recycled material, this mini size, £775, recycled polyester. The resurgence of the Prada Shoulder Bag, the re-edition, and you can buy a re-edition in the re-nylon variant, which is a regenerated kind of recycled nylon. Truly fantastic. It's a great way to get a bag style that is incredibly popular, is incredibly of the moment, but in a way that feels more sustainable. Comes in a range of colours. There's a few different options available, and it's great to see brands like Prada really focusing on sustainability and focusing that through some of their more popular bag styles. Because if you can have a recycled version of a particular bag, why wouldn't you? And that's very much how I felt about the next bag on this list, and this is the Longchamp Pliage Green Collection. Now, I have a white Pliage Green Collection medium top handle. The colour is called Snow. However, you can buy this particular collection in the totes, in the shoulder bags, in the top handles, the backpacks, different sizes, different colours, and I think it's kind of the replacement to the club line, and I really support that decision, because as much as I'm a fan of the club bags, I think if there's a way of having the exact same bag but in a way that's more sustainable, why wouldn't you? And I've compared the green collection with my club bags. I don't notice a difference. I use them in the same way. They feel the same to me. So if I can have one that's produced more sustainably, why wouldn't I? They also cost the same, so why not lean into that if you can? Now, of course, it doesn't just have to be a fabric bag in order to be more sustainably produced, and Mulberry prove this. Mulberry have a section of their website that's called Sustainable Icons, but the one that I would like to pull out in particular is the lily. And this lily is made from leather, but it's made in a carbon neutral fashion, so they offset the carbon emissions that they create through their production. So that's something that's really important to consider and to note. There were a couple of different variations that came in this carbon neutral fashion, so just something to think about. Again, if you are looking for a lily, let's say you're looking for a medium lily and you think, actually I would like one that's maybe a little bit more sustainable, but the fabric versions aren't for me, then do consider one like this. It's definitely something to consider. As I said, Mulberry have their sustainable icon section of the website. They aren't that much more either than the other products that they sell, so it's not like you're paying double the price in order to have a more sustainable version. There might be the odd price increase over and above, however I don't think they're particularly noticeable, not noticeable enough for me to be able to recall what they are anyhow. And for a lot of brands, as I mentioned, like Longchamp, they actually don't have a price increase over and above the alternatives. So definitely one to consider. Mulberry do this very, very well, maintains the beauty and the integrity of the design whilst considering the production process. Chloé have often had it bags. I think we can all agree on that. You know, when you think about the Nile as an example, that was a real it bag. And I believe that the Woody has been another it bag when it comes to that slightly more relaxed tote style, particularly for individuals who maybe didn't want a bag that was the size of the original Deal book tote, or they want something that had a slightly longer shoulder strap. The Chloé Woody definitely fulfilled a space, and they have brought this out in a recycled cashmere with leather trim. Definitely something to consider. Sits around the £1,000 price point, and it's a great alternative. It comes in this really fun striped pattern. The version that I'm referring to, I saw on Selfridges. Definitely something to consider. Cashmere is a beautiful material as well. It will be a little bit more delicate, so just something to consider. But if you want a great summer bag, something that's great for dry weather actually, not necessarily summer, it doesn't have to be summer. It could just be for drier weather. If you live in the UK, that isn't always summer. So definitely one to think about if you live in a climate that maybe has warmer weather, more sunshine, it's not as changeable as the climate that I live in. This could be a really nice option, particularly if the use of a recycled material as part of the production process is really important to you. Definitely want to consider, and I really actually love this pattern. Red isn't normally a colour that I gravitate towards, but I think this is really fun, really playful, really bright and really vibrant, so why not have fun with it? Karl Lagerfeld also has a sustainable line, and I have a piece from that particular line in my puffer jacket, kind of the Karl Cares sustainable line. It escapes me how that's produced that makes it sustainable, but I trust that it is. Anyway, the particular bag style that I am referring to is the Karl by Amber Valletta K Cushion Pleated Folded Tote. And this was a collaboration with supermodel Amber Valletta, and they produced a really lovely range of bags. This is £375. I like the versatility of this. It leans more into that hobo bag style, and the reason that this is more towards the sustainable side is because of the type of leather that it's produced with. It's produced using the cactus leather that we have started to see emerge over the past year or so, which I believe is just a more sustainable product in the way that it's created. So definitely something to look out for. Karl Lagerfeld has a really nice range of designs. It has a range of leather products, it has a range of these cactus leather products, it has a range of fabric products as well. So there really is something for everyone at a price point that feels reasonable. This particular bag is very much at the top end of the range at around £400. They tend to max out somewhere between £400 and £500. But you can buy a bag anywhere from kind of £60 if you go for one of the canvas shoppers, a slightly more relaxed shopper. So there is something for everyone. There's something for every price point when it comes to Karl Lagerfeld, and there are a lot of products, not just bags within the range, that focus on the sustainability aspect. As I said, I have a piece of outerwear that focuses on it, so definitely something for you to consider if it's the type of brand and the aesthetic that you gravitate towards. Let's loop quickly back to Mulberry, because as I mentioned, they have a couple of pieces within their range, and this particular item is a great alternative to what's a very popular style, and I'm talking about the Bayswater in the Econol regenerated nylon, and I believe this is the same material that the Prada re-nylon is made out of, so you can see how brands are starting to lean into this. And this particular item, and the reason that I say it's a great alternative to a very popular item, is because it is in oxblood, and the oxblood from Mulberry is an incredibly popular colour, particularly in the Bayswater and those heritage Bayswaters. You tend to very rarely see them go in the sale, you very rarely see them hit the outlet. I think I've seen one outlet before, but but it is very, very rare. They often come with gold hardware as well. It's a very popular colour from Mulberry. Very classic and very sophisticated. What I love about this is that you have the regenerated nylon, which adds this slight pillowiness. It adds this element of depth and texture to what is otherwise quite a structured, formal, simple and sophisticated bag. As you know, I have two Bayswaters and my two Bayswaters are very different. I have a very structured mock croc and I have a much more relaxed denim version. I love them both for different reasons. This is actually a really nice combination of the two. Would the Oxblood particularly be my favourite colour? No, it wouldn't. However, I would absolutely love this if it maybe came out in a pastel shade of some capacity. But I do know how popular Oxblood is for Mulberry, so it's a very clever colour choice for them, because why not try and move some of your kind of patrons of the more classic style towards this sustainable product if you can. And it's all the same dimensions as the kind of classic heritage Bayswater, a 36cm base, etc. So it's still quite a large bag, but it will also be slightly lighter because it has that fabric element to it. It won't be as heavy as a full leather bag. So just something to consider. £1,200, sits within the same price point as other Bayswaters. Definitely one for you to be thinking about if you're interested. And finally, if you've been thinking about that Neverfull, that Gucci tote, the Goyard St. Louis, Forêt Lepage, but you think, no, I really want something that is produced in a certain manner or uses a certain material, look no further than Anya Hindmarch. And Anya Hindmarch makes this beautiful, beautiful shopper tote, which has the logo, I'm a plastic bag, written across it, because it is made out of recycled or reused plastic, which I believe is plastic bottles or plastic bags. One of the two. I'll put it here somewhere so that you can see the material, but it's made out of recycled, reused plastic. It is absolutely gorgeous. It comes in a range of different colours. I love the playfulness of it. Love the fact that it has that motif on the front of it. If you've got a recycled item, don't shy away from it. Shout about it. Say, yes, I love fashion, but I also love being sustainable. Therefore, I'm going to tell you. It comes in a beautiful range of colours. Love how you have some slightly more muted shades. You also have some very vibrant, bright shades as well. Fantastic. Great alternative to some of the luxury bags that we see often being spoken about. I don't see a huge amount of conversation around the Anya Hindmarch pieces. I do often see them on the pre-loved market, and I think it's hardly ever worn it, or Designer Exchange often has a fair few pieces from Anya Hindmarch, and they're really good price points. So definitely a brand that you could also consider on the pre-loved market if you're interested. So there we have it, everyone. There are 8 bag styles that I think you should consider if sustainability is really important to you. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you've enjoyed exploring something a little bit different with me, and I look forward to seeing my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye now. Mwah.